I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Skywalker saga, by far the two most controversial Star Wars movies out there by Disney is of course The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi, mainly due to the fact that it really caused a big break in the Star Wars lore and the actual material that a lot of hardcore fans really do enjoy. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about The Last Jedi is that, of course, Rian Johnson was the one directly responsible for splitting the fan base. At the time, back in December of 2017, it's like it was just yesterday, right? Where the movie came out, a lot of fans had issues with this. Disney kept on denying the fact that there was even a backlash, and that the failure of Solo: A Star Wars Story had nothing to do with The Last Jedi, and that Bob Iger just called it a frequency issue. And so there was a period in 2018, I would say the first quarter, where they were deeply defending, everything related to the backlash against The Last Jedi and how it really did not exist. And now we see how it affected the box office results of The Rise of Skywalker and how that ultimately led to a big change, such as Disney's CEO Bob Iger stepping down and the new CEO Bob Chapek rising and taking over Disney and changing aspects over at Lucasfilm to create a better future for Star Wars as we know it, including Kathleen Kennedy losing her, creative control over these new Star Wars projects in the early development phase. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing, of course, is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are now focused on the new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as the new Star Wars universe. Now, it's explained that currently Disney has multiple plans in place in order to create a better future for Star Wars in general, and to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world. However, during and after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, many questions were given out to the creators of the franchise, such as co-writer Chris Terrio of The Rise of Skywalker. When questioned about his stance on The Last Jedi and how that affected the production for Episode 9, Terrio went on to explain that Rian Johnson's decision in The Last Jedi certainly created some difficulty developing Episode 9, given that Snoke was dead and so was Luke, and that he and J.J. Abrams worked very hard together to properly insert a new villain into the mix for the last Star Wars film of the Skywalker saga. Terrio went on to state that he and JJ did not agree with every decision that Johnson actually chose to do with The Last Jedi, and that Johnson made the decision to kill off Snoke on his own, given that he had full creative control by Kathleen Kennedy for The Last Jedi. Terrio also unveiled that Rian Johnson had more creative control than he and JJ did with The Rise of Skywalker, and that they had discussed with the retconning of Rey's parents for The Rise of Skywalker for quite some time, where it said that Terrio revealed that Rian requested for Rey's parents to remain mysterious and as nobodies. However, with Rey becoming a Palpatine, JJ and Terrio had no choice other than to retcon all of that. So, the thing about JJ and Chris Terrio, they did work very hard on this movie for a number of months. In fact, they went through all of these different reshoots, all these different rewrites. We had one in late 2018 and we had another one in mid-2019 that drastically changed the movie. It really changed, the movie twice. 2 times in a row, this movie actually went under major changes where they went through Palpatine as a spirit, taking over the Dark Acolyte as the main villain, to Force Ghosts of Anakin, Luke, Kenobi, and more, to actually be a center of the movie. That was also put to the wayside. All these different things. And everything related to what, of course, Terrio was able to reveal about Johnson is that it created a difficult production for Episode 9, given that they had to work around a new villain, and they had to actually work around the return of Luke Skywalker, and that was ultimately the big difficulty for this movie, at least in the first, cut of the film before it got deleted. Now, when we look at everything related to Chris Terrio and JJ, how it's actually said that Rian had more creative control for The Last Jedi than JJ and Chris Terrio did for The Rise of Skywalker by Kathleen Kennedy. Now, once again, it really does make you think, right? Why in the world would Kathleen Kennedy give Rian Johnson a new Star Wars trilogy of all people, but not J.J. Abrams? Unless he shot down, the offer, why wouldn't Kathleen Kennedy give JJ the opportunity to make a new Star Wars trilogy? That's the thing that always mind-boggles me and leaves me very confused, right? It almost makes me feel as if Kathleen Kennedy was intentionally doing this to the Star Wars universe to really make things that different to fit her personal agenda. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, you know, a lot of changes have been made already over at Lucasfilm. We're going to see a different future for Star Wars, and this all starts, of course, you know, with The Mandalorian Season 2 coming out this October, the Kenobi TV series, the Cassian Andor TV show, the planned Mace Windu TV series that's actually in early development, the new Star Wars trilogy, the young Luke Skywalker TV series, all these different things that are coming together as we speak. And let's not forget the Rise of Skywalker sequel series that will be in animated form, and even the Star Wars Rebels sequel series. So we got a lot of content coming our way throughout this entire decade. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.